What's up? I'm Dan Random, and today I need to change the brakes on my 1994 Acura Integra. So I have this kit here to spin in the caliper because that's how the emergency brake works, like by clicking and spinning and staying in a certain spot, and then the hydraulics just push in a little more for the actual braking. So these are the pads I'm going to put on. So first I need to start by removing this cover here by taking out these two 10mm bolts. With the cover removed, now I'm going to crack these two bolts loose here that hold the caliper on. The bolts are 12mm. If you have something to pry with, I suggest using it to pop this out. Make sure the emergency brake is off and your wheel has been chocked, of course. Now this here, this is the part that we're going to have to spin in. So now we just have to figure out which tools here fit this. And then if you want to remove the rotor here, take a 14mm socket or wrench and take off the back two bolts to remove this bracket here, and then screws out of here if you have any. So if new ones of these came in your kit, which this one did not, you want to pop them and swap them. So I'm just going to clean mine up and re-lube them. And of course, either put your new rotor on or your cleaned up rotor. I just cleaned mine up a bit. These are just going to have to do for now. Once you figure out which one of these little plates you're going to use and have this plate here slipped over this from the top, you're then ready to slip this into here and make sure these little holes go into this. In fact, I'm going to take this off and put it onto here, and then I got to start cranking off camera. I realized this kit had an adapter for my gun here, which it's 3/8, so I had to use an adapter from 1/2 inch here. But then I used this one here with the 4 little dots on it, and this magnetically holds onto here. And then without that plate or anything else, I was able to just impact it right in, and it spun right into flat here, as you can see. So now to get the pads and this other bracket here back on, whatever I did with that, now here it is. So let's get that back on, everything lubed up and installed. And of course, don't forget to pop out your slide pins here, clean them up, and then re-grease them. Make sure to use something high temperature. This will do the trick. Make sure the pads look identical, which these do. So let's get that installed back here. With the pads in place, we can now put the caliper in place. Make sure to grease up the back sides of these pads actually first real quick. I actually decided to put the anti-seize lubricant on the inside of the caliper, so on the back other sides of these here and on that, because that's only where the metal is going to make contact with the back sides of the pads, or pad linings I should say. And make sure you torque all these bolts down to good and tight. So with the cover installed and everything tight, that's how you do rear brakes on most Integras. I think all of them actually.